All right, we got our gloves and we've got our machine ready to go. You got, just remember, measure twice and drill once. Got to make sure. So we're at like 1 3/4 inches, and oh God, I can do it. All right, I can do this. I can do this. Oh God, what did I do? What did I do? I just put a hole in my $30,000 side-by-side. No! Did I mess it up? And then, after you're used to doing side-by-side stuff, alright boys and girls, now we're ready to go full send it. Reciprocating saw to the new Fenders. But really guys, in all seriousness, you can see Can-Am makes these so easy to put on. All of the holes are already kind of dimpled into the plastic, and everything on these Fender Flares and extensions are already form fitted to this. So it form fits to all the contours, and all the holes already match up with this. So I'm just going to take a small 1/4 inch drill bit and kind of pre-drill these holes here for the pilots, and then just kind of put each one of them in. Then we've got a whole bunch of these absolutely normal 30 Torx, of course. We're going to add another 57 of these 30 Torx to the machine. That's what it needs, more 30 Torx screws shoved into it. But that's what holds all of them on. Front, rear has a 2-piece one for the upper fender and one for the lower portion of it. It's going to help out a whole bunch when it comes to keeping the mud and everything from the inside of the vehicle most of the time when we're shooting through fields and stuff. The installation of the Fender Flares went really well, and it does help a lot, keeping a lot of the dirt and debris and everything from the inside of the cab. As you guys can see here from the edge, it does stick it out an extra 3.5 inches. And when you're talking these things slinging back, especially on this side when you're turning left, shoots it straight up into the fender well instead of up into your window. So that helped a lot. Like I said, lots of 30 Torx, and I do like the overall look of it. I think I really like actually the contrast between going from the orange to the black here on the rear ones. It just makes it, you know, stand out a little bit more, gives it a little bit more of an aggressive look. I do like the looks of those. Now we're going to move on to the next part of our project. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to get into is taking care of, hopefully, some of the sound inside the cockpit here in the Can-Am. One of the things that everybody knows about from the 17s all the way up through the 20s is that these things have a horrendous amount of some kind of rattle noise at like 5,000 to 5,200, 5,300 RPM. So I've got my decibel meter all hooked up on my phone, and then I got hooked up with Adrenaline Motorsports down in Kentucky. They've developed a really cool kit for drowning out some of the noise inside of the cabin. So as you can see right behind my head here, that's the intake, both to the air filter housing as well as the clutch housing, which I believe it's the clutch stuff is what's making so much rattling noise. But we've got a kit that's going to block that off and actually change it to open up behind the airbox, which is behind the vehicle. Hopefully that's going to take care of some of the cockpit noises here inside the X3. So we're going to go take an initial run here with the decibel meter, just showing you guys how loud it is in here at that RPM range. Alright, just starting things out here. So that's up to 5,000. I'm going to turn on the road here. Hold on. for shits and giggles, without that, let's do some acceleration pulls. Stop very quick, like I said. All right, back home. So yeah, like I said, this thing is fun as can be and fast as a whip, but boy, it is loud in here. And like I said, it's all because of this intake right here. It's right behind the driver's head, and it didn't really show it on the decibel meter. The decibel meter showed it louder as we were accelerating, but it just must be the resonance of the engine or whatever it might be. We'll see how it shows up on camera or how well it you know, audio's out here, but it is way louder and way more raspy to the ear at that 5200 5300 RPM. Kind of nuts. So now the kit we picked up from Adrenaline Cycles down in Kentucky. This is the kit that we picked up for them for the X3. And it's going to be a block off plate right in here for the intake air behind the driver's head. So it'll block off this section right here, and then it'll actually go behind the back to this one right here, and it'll actually cut an opening into here, and we'll have a really nice grid kind of screen opening here, hopefully to be able to block off the air and the noises from the airbox and the case that the clutch housing is all in, because as you can see, the clutch housing has this big air inlet that goes up there into that intake box right there. So you're getting all the noises from the secondary clutch right here. So I have a feeling that's where a lot of the noise is coming from. Later on, we're going to try some reclutching and doing some different stuff inside of there, but we'll get to that one later. But for right now, we're going to try by changing out where the intake air is coming into and from, hopefully diverting it from our ears inside. All right, so in the kit here from Adrenaline Cycles, we're gonna open this up real quick, see what's inside. We got that. I've already cut this out actually, and actually drew on the template. It comes with a piece of paper. Got a nice template to be able to cut out, to be able to put that onto your back piece. All the hardware comes in here. All of the nice little grate piece that's on there, that's really nice. And then we'll go over here to the actual machine, and we've got the block off plate which goes in here behind the driver's head. I've already installed this one. Really simple to do. From the back side, actually, you'll put in the foam piece, show that one here real quick, and then you're gonna make a couple of dots here and here, here and here, 4 of them sitting there. Drill a couple of 5/8 inch holes into those, and then there's some push pins that hold in this really nice plastic piece. Then from the rear, you can see in that little opening right here, there's a nice foam insert that fits very tightly into that opening to keep all that noise and everything isolated from the inlet of the engine and the different casing here. Then all we did was take that template and then just taped it onto this area and took a marker and marked out the outline. So we've got that all marked right there exactly how we need it to. Now I'm just going to take a cutoff wheel and cut that out real quick, be able to put our mesh grill inlet right into there, drill a couple of holes that are going to go with the supplied hardware for it, drill that in there, and simple as that. It's gonna fit right on there and hopefully work really well. So I'll get this one cut out real quick and then we'll fit it onto the machine. everything gets all cut out and everything, this nice little screen fits right into place, and there's 5 of these Torx screws that fit right into those holes, screws it right into place. You're going to drill 5 of those little pilot holes just because it is plastic. You don't want to strip anything out. And then the cool thing that the kit does come with are 5 of these little rubber caplets that are going to go over, let's see if we can get a good enough picture here, over all of the little screws on the inside. So when you reach your hand down under and up into it to pull that little cover off, it's not going to be scraping the crap out of your hand or catching anything and messing your hand up. So that's a pretty nice thing that they thought about when making this kit. And after all is said and done, there is the finished product. I'm gonna have to say, guys, this thing looks pretty darn clean, and having that amount of air intake, this has got to be able to pull more air in from where that's at, and how much air opening is actually here onto the back side of it. It's going to keep that little coolant reservoir bottle a little clearer and a little cooler, I would have to say too. So all in all, it's a very clean build. They took into consideration a lot of things when they made this kit. I'll have to give the guys over at Adrenaline Cycles big thumbs up on the kit that they made for that one. I will be sure to put the link to this one in the description below. It's a really awesome kit. They're really great guys to work with. So if you guys have an X3, make sure you look into that one there. Another shout out to SB Tools, obviously, for this build. The 2 major things that I was using on this build was their 12 volt line here, 12 volt drill, and the 12 volt 3/8. As you guys know, just about everything on this ride is either a 25, 27, or 30 Torx. So 3/8 drive impact this thing, especially for putting on those Fender Flares with those however many tons of 30 Torx that went into these things. That helped out a whole bunch. Great tool, up to 80 foot-pounds of torque, which is way too much for working on plastic a lot of the time, but it does have a variable speed trigger, full reverse and forward. Great tool, 2-year warranty on the tool and the batteries. I will put some links down in the description to these below. Big shout out to SV Tools for some awesome tools as usual. So I know it's a little bit chilly and a little bit windy today. It's only like 32 degrees, but you know what? For science, we got to get this thing tested. I know you guys want to figure out how much this helped on the in-cabin amounts of noise that we're putting out. So we'll get out the GoPro, get out the little meter on my phone to be able to see what the decibels are going to be. Hopefully this one helped out a bunch on the in-cabin. Let's go get this thing rolling. All right, so now just sitting here at idle, right here in the cab. Not too bad. Get a little bit of RPMs on here. Sorry about the sun. Not too bad. All right, let's pull out on the regular road. This back here. All right. Control real quick. All right, get this thing pulled in here, boys and girls. Let her cool down a second. Well, I know that it was a little bit harder to be able to see it on the actual decimeter on whether it was that much different or not. From what I remember, the readings were actually pretty close to each other, but the difference is going to be the harshness of the noise, how it comes through. It does not pick up, I don't believe, on camera or with this microphone hardly at all. It's not going to show up very easily because, like I said, on the decimeter it didn't show it, but the harshness at from 5100 to 5300 RPM RPM, that harshness has gone down quite a bit. So that just goes to tell me that whatever is in that clutch housing or that intake case, that is where a lot of the noise is coming from, because putting that blocker behind me did help to, I guess, like I said, reduce the harshness of that noise to some extent. So I'm going to be looking into here in the next couple of weeks on hopefully doing some clutching and everything. We've got a lot of performance stuff coming for this one also, so maybe trying to find a fix for that loud clutch at 5100 to 5300 RPM. If I end up finding anything with that one, I will definitely be looking to do that to the machine and get back with you on the findings for that one as well. Well, guys, that's about all we've got for today. I appreciate everybody stopping in. It's been a hell of a fun journey with this machine. We've got a lot of fun stuff. Just starting to break through the cold weather, so we're going to be able to get it out some more daily drives, and we're going to be able to put it through some more, I guess, hellacious content as we go through a couple of outdoor venues and see where we can find ourselves getting into the off-road mix on this thing. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit that bell notification so you get notified when I come out with cool, awesome content just like this one today. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, you guys stay awesome.